just the phone.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay, guys.
there's
So,
something with the settings.
uh, huh?
Maybe it's something in the settings.
I don't know. We did a test, and this is what it is. Hey, people are joining. Who's there? Let's see. John, Angela, Alexander, Francisco, and Serena. That is interesting. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. So we were testing new gear. It's not working as I was hoping or expecting, but I guess that the phone alone by itself is good.
Yeah.
Oh, John, you want to join? Hey, John. Let's bring John in.
Jonathan?
Jonathan. Hey,
Hey,
man.
my good morning, yeah, my type of guy, yeah. That's how we do it.
What is
Hey, well,
up?
yeah, Sun Tribe meeting live.
Yeah, yes. Especially, I just got, man, I got like 15 minutes of me and Francisco's episode left to edit, and that's
That-
it. So,
That's it.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's cool, full circle. And Chelsea,
Hey, hi, Chelsea.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
she just got off a shift.
Yeah.
So,
Are you on me or?
yeah, I was for a
Okay.
second. Hi guys, how are you?
Good, and you?
Amazing.
Wow. Okay. So that's interesting. So yeah, the whole idea was to test the new iPhone that we purchased for Alcamove to test the mics, but it's not working during a live. So I wanted to test that because I have those like badass DJI wireless mic, but it's not working during a live. So, but it's still very useful for other applications, I guess.
Yeah, for videos,
Yeah.
normal videos.
Yeah.
I see. I see. Yes, full circle. I actually connected with Alexander
Oh yeah.
earlier. I saw him on here. Yeah, he did a nice live and he had a lot of similar wave thought forms. So, riding the same wave. It was pretty cool, man. So, I don't
Cool.
know if he can hear us and you can
Yes,
say
he's
something,
there.
Vince, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, pretty insightful.
Okay. Maybe you guys can tell us what it was all about. I just invite him to join. We'll see if he will join. Would be nice.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be dope. That's like
He's an
universal
American
flow at
accent.
its finest.
Yeah, Serena, you mean for Jonathan? Yes, it's an American accent for
Yeah.
sure. You're from
Yeah.
Missouri, right, John?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yep. Home of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hey, voila. Alexander is there.
What's
Aha!
up?
Hey,
What's
hey.
up, man?
How you doing?
Nice.
I
That-
That's
I could hear
awesome.
I could hear in the background. I was just listening to you guys. I was in the washroom myself. Niama.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, no, we
well,
had we had a great conversation. It was perfect timing and it was divine, as is everything, right?
yeah.
Like this. So yeah, no, it was great. It was great. It was nice to connect there for the first time. Yeah.
Okay, so did
yeah.
you did a live together, or you join his live?
No,
No.
I just went
Okay.
live and then he joined. I was just up at the mountain. I was just doing my usual climb up the
Oh,
top and
I see.
I just
He
decided to have a
he was doing
spontaneous
some
live.
flow state, Vince, and like I caught him in a moment in the beginning. He's kind of in his video like, he's like, I don't know if anybody really listens to these anymore. And I'm thinking like, man, I listen to your stuff all the time, man. When I see it,
Wow.
it always resonates. And I
Yes,
know with Vince it does
sorry.
too, usually. So
Appreciate it.
but that's kind of how it's
Okay.
oh, sorry.
That,
That's how
no,
it
no,
started.
that's okay. Go ahead. I'm with my son, Soren.
Good
What's
haircut.
up,
New haircut.
buddy?
Nice.
What's up, buddy?
Good. I
Nice
have to pick my
haircut.
good. I have to pick my brother's punching bag
Yeah.
because the rope can have to put duct tape.
Duct tape, is it fixed now, or you need help? You need help? Okay, I will go to help you later, okay?
Uh,
Talk to you later.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, okay, so you were saying you was in flow state, and yeah, you started to post again, Alexander. It's nice to see you back on more like active on Instagram. You took a break, right? For a while you didn't
Yeah,
post.
yeah. I just I've been going through a lot of like transitions, life transitions, and everything like that. I mean, I was settling into a new place here, and my divine counterpart, she recently moved in with me, so we're living together, and we're building a beautiful kingdom here, and just a kingdom for creation and foundation to create better things from, and yeah, it's been really nice to kind of have things come together more, and for myself too. One of the reasons what really got me back into just posting is doing my daily climbs up the mountain. Part of my fitness routine is really for myself to get into that consistency, and I wanted to get back into posting in some way. And now that I am, it's opening up other doors and avenues for connection and also creation. And yeah, I appreciate what John was saying, man. I appreciate that a lot because you never know who's gonna see it, but you never know unless you just do it, right? And you post it, and it's not about the followers it's more about the like. I believe in don't listen to the messenger, listen to the message. It's like in the word message there's sage and there's mess. You can either create a mess in the message or you can become the sage in the message, right?
mm,
So it's really important that we have the intention behind why we're doing it, right? And for me it's just to get my truth out there. Like, we all have our individual and collective truth, and for me on these platforms, it doesn't matter what platform it is. It could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be TikTok, it could be YouTube. My girlfriend was like, you need to start posting on YouTube more, like the YouTube shorts,
Hmm.
and one thing for me now that I'm posting consistently on Instagram is to be more cross posting, on all the platforms, like you guys with the Sun Tribe, and with being on Rumble. I think you guys are on Rumble
Yeah.
too,
mhm.
right? Yeah, so it's good to get it on all platforms. If you can do that, then you just reach more audiences, and the algorithms are different on all
Yeah.
platforms too, right? They work in different ways. So, and then you combine all of us on all the platforms, and now the resonance and the reach is that much greater, right? So, yeah, it's great to be on. It's great to be connecting again on here with you guys. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Happy to
Amen.
see that you're doing well.
Hmm?
Happy to see that you are doing
Oh,
well.
thank you. Yeah, you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's always lovely to connect with familiar
Yeah.
faces or familiar
Yes.
soul family, soul tribe, because we're all in different places, but we're all here in this now moment, right?
Yes.
And that's the beauty of these devices, um, is the ability to be able to connect us no matter where we are on the plane.
Hmm.
But again, we're all where we are. We're all where we need to be. Like, you guys are on the east, I'm on the west coast. Bro's down in what? Where,
Yeah,
Missouri or?
Kansas City.
Oh,
Yep.
that's cool,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, yeah.
KC. Middle USA.
Wow, are you from there?
Yeah, I was born and raised here. I went to school up north in Minneapolis area I lived up there for like 7.5 years, and then I moved back down and became a fireman down here. And
Beautiful, man.
uh,
Appreciate your
about
service.
no, thanks, man. Yeah, but my life's leading me towards a different direction, and has been for a little bit. It's been a very, very spiritual and connected path, and I think that's personally, I think what you're saying is that we're all just starting to resonate to, like, understand that technology and like can be used in a good way, and unfortunately, but for us to like find specific people that we draw that vortex or that attention in to each other is it's kind of globally right now, more or less, it feels like, because you know it's pretty finite. the exact way that we're writing and sharing that collectively. I think there'll be more implosion and expansion along the way. I don't know exactly what that means, but
Yeah.
even like now, it's not a coincidence, like you said, that me and you were just coincidentally, like, you know, having some dialogue, and now Vince and Niama started this. And I just started after editing for like, I don't even know, 5 straight hours, 6 straight since a break, and that's just the time it was, man. So it's
Yeah.
cool.
I've been
But
doing work on my home too, like here. Like I gotta show you guys this quickly. I become
yeah,
somewhat of a handyman in this place, but I'll show you kind of the space and kind of everything's kind of in anyways. I created this whole backsplash.
Oh,
Wow.
I did all this myself. I've never done this before, so I did all the grouting the other day, and just it's a little bit of
You,
touch ups to do, but like I did all that and fucking just yeah, this is my home right now, and yeah, it's beautiful. We're turning it into as best as we can, right?
always.
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
moving compared to where it was before, like what it looked like, this place was like a disaster. But you know what? You put a little love into it and a little intention, and you're amazed at what you can create, right?
That's the
So
mindset. Always do the best that you can with what you have.
yeah,
This is my mindset. Whatever tool we have, you use
yeah,
them to the fullest that you can. And then it will bring you higher and higher and higher.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. We,
Like Yoda says, do or do not, right? There is no try. You just do the best you can.
yeah,
yeah.
cool.
Serena said Niama and I didn't get the topless memo. Lol.
Oh, geez, yeah, no, it's too hot here.
Boy,
I was working. That's my
everybody
excuse.
topless. I cannot do that, right? Even if I'm hot, I cannot do that, you know?
So, Alexander, where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm in Canada. I'm in on Vancouver Island in Victoria, where I'm born and
Mm,
raised.
okay.
Uh, I'm an
Everybody,
island boy.
everybody's north. Okay, all
But
right.
but for now,
Francisco is in Salvador. Francisco
Yeah,
is
that's true. I see him on here
another
now. Yeah.
place. So even Francisco joined now, like so much synchronicities and divine timing to have like that inner circle all connected. Like now in this now moment, it's to me it's
Yeah.
very powerful.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny too. The episode I was editing, not to get too depth into it, but Vince, it's titled "Where Your Attention Goes, Your Energy Flows," and a lot of it was synchronizations, and as people get together, like collapsing, like bigger waves,
Mm,
basically, like, yeah, I mean, that's what it is, grounding bigger waves
yeah,
too, essentially,
yeah.
so I remember even one thing I put on there, I forgot, I talked with Francisco, but does anybody remember the Schumann resonance, like that time that it had like DNA structures in the actual like graph that it
I
showed?
think I remember seeing that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, it was legit. It was a heavy meditation day for me that day, but like we talked about it. So I don't know why I just thought of it, but that's what I think of, like what collectively people are trying to do, man, is it's
Everything's energy, frequency, and vibration, right? Like Nikola Tesla said, if you ever want to find the secrets of the universe, right? And
yeah,
like we're all energy, like emotion is just energy in motion. So if you think about if you're vibrating at a certain, like we're all vibrating at a certain frequency, right?
yeah,
And I think that's what we're starting to see is all the timelines are playing out. Like there's the splitting of the timelines, but we're all in this now moment. And what we're gonna continue to see is that just play out more and more. And like everyone's on their own journey, right? Like everyone's on their own timeline, so to speak. But at the same time, all the timelines are happening now. Like now, what time is it? It's now.
Now,
It's now. There's no
yeah.
there's no past. There's no future. It's now. That's all
No
there is.
space. This is such a strong illusion.
Yeah, like
yes,
Like
just yeah,
even if I knew that for a while, like it takes time to really
yeah,
live
get
it.
out of that
for sure.
illusion and to really
The
embody the now
program.
moment and
Yeah,
for the mind to stand there now. It takes a while to like
for sure.
deconstruct that very strong construct and illusion, like to keep us elsewhere than now.
Yeah.
So that's a powerful thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like like everything that I've done in my life, and I'm sure you guys can all agree, it's like any sort of skill that you've acquired, uh, consistency was needed, right? You needed to be consistent
Oh yeah.
in doing it repetitively. Like repetition is the mother of all skills, so you needed
Hmm.
to keep doing it over and over and
Yeah.
over, like a
Hmm.
mindset. You had to keep
Mm.
conditioning it into your mind in order for it to stick. So
To
it's like,
program yourself,
yeah,
to
Yeah.
program and to
the,
take yourself and to
Well,
play it overnight to program your subconscious. Powerful
yeah,
tools.
like Francisco says, working on that inner sun.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
know, and the ancient Egyptian, well, sun god religions all talked about. They usually actually, if you watch Jordan Maxwell, it's always a symbolism of the sun and the magnetic crosses, but that's actually in your own light being structure. So when
Mm.
people are like raise the vibration, like it's actual a literal sense, you
yeah.
know. There's an actual literal sense to it. So that is a part of it. And I think that's a very individualistic like journey. And I think that that's what a soul's purpose is somewhat intended to do, is to find out what that purpose is for them. And it's based on the individual, man. And nobody can perceive the same reality exactly the way you can, but we can ride similar waves, because at the end of the day, we're all close to that or a part of that same spark.
Hmm.
Mm.
So
Mm,
it's kind of like remembering that and what those full potentialities are collectively as we all wake up individually. But the individual aspect in the inner sun, Francisco, buddy, it's that's first, man. And I think that's what it is. And whether it's hermit mode, I've heard a lot of people in the spiritual community sense that lately, and that has been for people. I can resonate with that, and I think as a group, people can kind of resonate with some of that, somewhat. Even today, Alexander, you stated it's kind of been a while since you've really gotten into that posting mode,
Yeah.
probably because you're working on yourself. I know me and Vince have talked about it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
A lot
and
of
that's
deaths and rebirths, like you have to die. Aspects of you have to die in order for new parts of you to be born, right? And I think
yes.
that's kind of what I've been going through too, is it's like letting go of old parts of me and integrating like newer parts of me, like the version of myself that I desire to be, not just for myself but for others, for the collective. Like we all have a version of ourselves that we desire to be and strive for, right? And that phrase, like, break the algorithm, like we get like we're breaking the algorithm,
Yeah.
like there's like unfortunately in the spiritual community there's a lot of individuals that have been like deceived
Mm.
or like hijacked
Yeah.
in certain ways,
Mm.
and but those individuals are also being propped up by the algorithm. So it's like there's a lot of like follow the crowd mentality going on, rather than people following their own individual selves or choosing to follow what most people. It's like it's a box within a box,
Yeah.
if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
right? It's people are still in a fucking
Yeah.
box. They need to take themselves out of the
Mm.
box and look at the bigger picture of this
And
reality.
to
And
realize that they are their own leaders. People are
yeah,
still struggling to tap into their own sovereignty.
yeah, yeah, they're
absolutely.
still looking for someone else to govern them, right? It's no different than like politics.
Mm.
It's just more theatrics. You
Mm.
look at like even people in the spiritual community. There's like these spiritual gurus and
Yeah.
teachers. It's like people are still looking to these people to like,
Like up, but nobody is above yourself.
yeah,
Nobody.
yeah, exactly. Like, you are your own, like, yeah, you're your own king and you're your own queen, like you have to
Exactly.
govern
Yeah.
Yep.
yourself.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's what it's going to take for the collective for humanity to liberate itself, is to remember the independence in self,
But
Yeah.
you know?
And then
I think one of the biggest aspects to that, though, is actually really like changing the subconscious. Because think
Yeah.
about it. If we all recognize that we're programmed to some degree at some state to some part of our childhood, right? To some extent, and we're slowly chipping away at that. I think the next version of that is making sure the youth step into what is kind of really already theirs. Does that make sense? And like we're not recreating these subconscious things that they live by.
Mm,
I know it sounds that I think that's where the actual action starts creating a radical shift, because now you have a whole representation of reality that's different, and it no longer serves the subconscious. People don't wake up and think I need a boob job to look pretty anymore. Does that make sense? Like, people don't wake up and think a mentality of that production is 45 hours of a work week. Like, all these different subconscious aspects that sometimes we just don't even like take the time to stop and think of. But if we can change the more of the youth in that direction to where they understand it at a deeper level, younger, earlier on,
Early on, yeah.
I think you're going to see a subconscious aspect change, and then really the reality in which people operate really just, it really starts changing like switches, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's
You got to interrupt the pattern early on before it can form, right? Otherwise, it's just going to take that much more time to like rewrite the
you're
program.
just
I think
constantly
that's yeah,
reprogramming bots,
yeah,
but that's the problem. Like, how many times can you reprogram a bot? You need to stop the program that's written.
yeah.
Write your own program.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
have to. Everyone has to realize that they're the chosen one. And this,
Yes.
I read a post about this, and it really resonated. It gave me fucking chills because it was talking about like the Matrix and Neo, and the Matrix and the bending of the spoon. And like, dude, like I'm getting chills when I think about that, because like he didn't actually bend the spoon. What he was bending was himself, and he was bending with the reality and the Matrix, and he was realizing that he was the Matrix. He wasn't this self or this body. He was more than just Neo. And if every individual realized that, then they would completely crumble this fucking matrix.
Hmm.
Like it would, the matrix is just it's like the mother, right? Even in the word ma, and then tricks is like the tricks, right? The mother of all tricks, right? So it's a great deceiver, but it's also the one that can open us up to really understanding ourselves, but everything around us too. It's wild, man. Like it's the more that I delve down this, like it's never ends, man. It never ends. Yeah,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't ever end.
it's
Je vais me charger.
Your phone is dying.
Yeah,
So,
You want
as
hey,
usual.
so can I tell
Niama,
him?
join me in the room here, so maybe someone else can
What?
hop on the live.
It's only
What is-
four people?
Yeah, it's limited to four, so
Oh, I didn't know.
we can share the
Okay.
same phone.
Yeah, for sure. Get someone else on here.
Yeah, et voilà. So if anyone else has the call to join, there's one more spot available.
So you and Niama were just testing the phones, but you're still
Yeah.
at the same location. Oh, I see.
Yes, because I got the new but we got a new iPhone 15 Pro Max that we purchased for the our business because we need to shoot like high quality videos.
Uh-huh.
And we did some tests with different cameras, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max was the best.
Nice.
So we got that phone to for the business for
Yeah.
Alcamove.
Yeah, you
And
can write
then
it
I
off, bro. Write it
yeah,
all off.
eventually yes,
Yeah,
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 yeah. The Matrix, man. No worries. We
yeah.
got this. There we go. There she
Yeah.
is.
Nice.
Yeah. I got a new Mac Mini to start doing mine. I found that actually was like a pretty superb setup,
Huh.
because you're buying basically like the specs of almost like a Mac Tower, but you just swap out your own display and camera whenever you want, really. Like,
Huh.
and it really wasn't super expensive that way, if that makes sense. So, but that was the best way, and it's been really, really good using it that way already. For if anybody wants any computer advice for video editing, but it's been super fast.
Huh.
So
Cool.
yeah.
I gotta upgrade my computer over the next year. Honestly, I have the first like M1 MacBook,
Hmm.
but I just want something like you that can do all that, like the video editing, like the quality, like quick rendering,
Yeah,
all that.
they
Because
say you need like a 32 gig at least, like unified memory, and like that's kind of where you really want to like be at with that, with the video editing, especially when you have multiple videos like that. So that Mac
yeah,
Mini it'll do all that for you and have a good SSD, and so you can operate all the different apps at a pretty high capacity. So And then, like I said, and then it doesn't really get that old like your display can, because cameras and displays are always changing. You can keep it for a little bit. So I found that was best for the video quality and the speediness of running the apps and downloading. I haven't really got into too much of the exporting. I know Vince is going to show me that, but I'm sure it'll be pretty quick as well. So, but
We are upgrading. A higher timeline requires better gear.
yeah,
Because in what we're doing now, shooting videos is like at the core of our pretty much, I
The
think,
visual is everything.
ascension process. Because
Most of everything.
yeah, yeah. So we have to upgrade everything that we have and to upgrade our game. And like we said, Jonathan, for now we are involved into that new project, that 300 Raw podcast, and our mindset is really. Quality over quantity. So we take our time to really like up the game into the production, video editing. We put a lot of love into it, a lot of time, and now when we post something, it's very meaningful.
yeah,
So it's really quality over quantity. So this
Mm.
is where we are, what we are aiming at, and this is why we are less on social media. Like, when is the last time we made a live like that? Couple
A year ago?
over a year ago for sure.
wow.
So yeah, so and this was not even planned to do. It was just like to run a test, and now we are doing one. So every so, but
Nice.
because we took a step back, right? Because before we were more active, but now
It's
we
not that we're not active.
yeah,
We're
we're very
active
active
differently.
differently. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, online. So now we just took a step back, and now we are also again like starting a new business with Linda Alcamus. So we are putting a lot of starting a business is quite something. It's it's full like taking on the matrix by the
Oh
balls.
yeah.
Basically, that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, to position yourself in a better place within the matrix. So we are the matrix at the end of the day. So people are like trying to fight the matrix, but you cannot fight against yourself.
No.
No. But
Thank you.
remember, man, like we truly just attract what's meant for us. I mean, that really, when you really stay heart centered and into like, as much of a, I guess people would say, flow state, in my opinion, like you really do attract more what's for you, man. And it's abundance again is many, many things other than money.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be that new relationship that, it changes something. I will say, like you said, Vince, like, the nice thing for me is I've always done a good job of like understanding the information, but not necessarily like in sentence or in thought, like connecting the dots. And what the podcast and the production and the quality and like Chelsea even brought it up, which is a very good point, is that like, I have links in there that'll have like the Fibonacci sequence, the two slit experiment. So, there's a lot of validity behind this information where people can really resonate and start to connect with it. And, like Ross said, it truly is about the gnosis. It truly is about scribing. It is
Mm.
truly about waking up to these universal principles. But remember, law of attraction tells us that. Like when you really resonate to your higher self, and you're just really in that state, like you're going to start attract to more what is just really meant for you, and it's whether that's a detachment or an unattachment to something else that you're chipping away, or an opportunity really knocks at your door. Like you just never know, man. I fed a neighbor some tomatoes. They knocked on my door today with salsa. Like, so you just never know, man. That's just how it is. And like, so that truly is, and then you can connect with people a little bit differently. But anyways, I digress. So
No, there's no
yeah,
digress, no
No,
digression
no,
here.
no.
It's all aligned.
Link.
Yeah, it's all
yeah,
aligned.
yeah.
So
Great, man. It's been a
yeah.
great day. So even a few days removed from a skydive accident, I feel amazing.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
heard
Like,
about it.
there's a massive, like, he's been involved into a very bad skydive accident, and he
Oh
went
wow.
out of it pretty much unarmed, and everybody around thought he was dead.
Holy
That's
crap.
crazy.
Yeah,
Protected, man, and
me and
it's for a purpose.
me and Chelsea, we were sitting at breakfast and we looked it up because the waitress was like, "Hey, can I ask you about your cheek?" And I was like, "Oh, I was in a skydive act." She's like, "Oh, were you the one in the news?" And
Oh my My God, you're in the
My
news.
my ex told me yesterday, like somebody contacted her trying to get information. I was kind of like, what? Like, this is weird. And then we looked it up, and there were several articles about people were like his canopy collapsed. He badly hit the truck, and then went back up and hit the ground again, and was unconscious. And like one article had me like they had to recorrect it because it had like they thought I was hurt, and they're like, "Oh, that information was bad." And I had so many scans, man, and I walked away completely uninjured. I still don't remember 40 minutes of my life, but for some reason, I feel like it was intentional.
Mm,
Like that,
How long ago?
I
It
knew it
was
was
what? 2 weeks ago? Last week? When was it?
1 week ago.
Saturday,
Yeah,
last
A
Saturday.
week
one
So
ago.
week
we
ago exactly.
1 week, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Did you get
uh,
the green clay?
I honestly I haven't, Vince. I've been so kind of busy, doing some things, and I've actually been
Yeah,
healing pretty
he
well.
was he was busy not dying.
Like I wasn't able to straighten my arm, and now I'm
Oh
getting to
man.
the point, and I knew I wouldn't be able to skydive again until I could get to my pack. So
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that now. So I'm
So you
getting
can
there,
go.
man. By doing some
Yeah.
light yoga and stuff, has helped. But yeah, so
Ready
You
to
should
go
try the
skydive again.
Vygotsky method.
uh, what's
Go
that?
ahead. Go,
Oh no,
Alexander.
I was saying you should try this thing called the Egoscue method, which is like
Gosky.
for it's called Egoscue method. One of my good bros here showed me it, and it's like to help you recorrect your like spine and like your
Ah,
shoulder. Like it's really good to do, and it's like three of the simplest like exercises basically that you can do like
heck
for the
yeah!
body.
Thank you.
But
Yeah,
I could
Chelsea's got a
send that.
picture of my shoulder like a couple days after it, and you could see the whole right side is like internally just like shaped differently.
Wow.
And it was like, yeah. So I've been really trying to stretch into it. So that'd be amazing,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
Is your hip out at all too? Like, is it one side of your body that's
yeah. My left hip has been kind of messed up, but
okay?
that's from kind of previous stuff. But that is one of the spots I hit the truck.
Holy crap!
So yeah, it's
I-
pretty deeply bruised right there still.
You must
Protected.
you've done skydiving a lot, eh? Like like this is
That was my 87th jump. So really in
holy.
the skydive world, I'm just getting kind of started. So like
That's
really when you
wild,
get
man.
to
87, and
uh-huh.
you're just
Yeah, but
starting.
that's just kind of
I'm not
getting
gonna
my
do even
feet wet.
one. I'm black. Black people, we don't do that. We stay on land, because we don't want to crash into trucks and do no. Black, I'm black.
Uh,
I'm gonna stay alive. I'm protected. Thank you. No, I'm not gonna die over this.
Holy
I
shit!
cannot even drift when I drive with her in the
No,
car.
no, no. He cannot drift. He's gonna do that on his own. I need to live. I have a long life in
I
front
don't
of me.
know,
No.
Niama. I think you might just be able to get centered and like whatever happens, you just be okay.
I'm okay on land. Why do you want me to be okay, like falling from the sky? I'm okay on land, on the ground. I'm okay.
Oh
I'm
man.
okay.
Hmm. Well, I like that, Alexander. I liked you hiking, man. Like that is definitely a big thing I integrate into my life, getting into nature. So me and Chelsea, my divine partner, we kind of do the same. Not kind of, we do. So that was cool.
Nice.
What mountain range was that?
Oh no, it's just a quick little mountain that I live by. I live by this place called Christmas Hill. It's really
Uh-huh.
funny. It's just like the names here are ridiculous sometimes. It's like it's just like funny. City of Victoria, and it's named after the Queen, right? The Queen Elizabeth, right? But
I like that.
I choose to focus on like Victoria stands for victory, right?
Mhm.
So like victorious, right? So I choose to focus on that perspective. But yeah, no, I live by like it's probably like maybe like 10, 15 minutes like to like climb to the top. But I just bring my weights. Like I have these 25-pound weights and I just bring my weights. I carry my weights from here all the way to the top and I just like sometimes I'll run up a hill, sometimes I'll run little portions, but I just for me it's just like I test myself. Like I like being able to like get a good view too at the top and it's like I get my workout in quick, I get some movement into my body and then I go on with my day kind of thing, you know?
Nice.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing, with fitness, if you don't have 15 minutes for your day, for yourself, like for your
Yeah.
health, then like fuck, like what are people doing? You know,
Mhm.
like pardon my French, but like health is our wealth, right? Like I'm grateful that I can do this every day, man. And like for me, like it's always a noticeable difference when I get into my body, how I feel after, as opposed to like before I start. Because initially I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to do this. Like don't get me wrong, like I'm used to doing it, but I don't want to do it, right? Like
Yeah.
my ego, my mind is like, don't fucking do this. Like why are you doing this,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But it's like always after, it's like how good do I feel? Like every
Yeah.
time. It's every time. Like there's not a single time where I'm like, wow, I'm glad, I didn't do this, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
And do
Because
you
so it's
feel that way, voyons, Jonathan, after you do a jump? You feel like joy and
Yeah,
happiness?
I do because honestly too,
yeah.
like now it's starting to build community. So like
Mm,
now I've been jumping with some of the same guys. So
that's cool.
when you show up at a place and guys are like, "Hey man, what's up? You want to do a track dive?" and you just jump out of a plane at 14,000 feet and you track the sky next to people, like it just has a different element to it, because then when
I
you're done,
agree.
you're like, dude, that was so cool with each other.
Yeah, I agree.
It has a community element too, and obviously individually we all understand it's looked at as one of the more riskful things, but a funny story, if you ask the old skydivers, they'll actually say that, skydiving nowadays is skydiving safe and the sex is dangerous. And back in the day, skydiving was dangerous, but the sex was safe. So, because of the equipment upgrades and because
Yeah.
of like a lot of other things, but no, sorry, that's a little funny. Um, but no, it does it does definitely get to be that way, but I look at it just like hiking or anything else. I look at ways to push my mind and my body, because skydiving does push your mental aspect for me. Because for anybody
Mm,
to say that there's never and like you're never unnerved or something getting up there, even when you're licensed and you continue to do it, there's a saying like, don't jump with that person, because they're kind of dangerous, because there should always still be some element of, I don't want to say fear, but like an elevated risk, and and you recognize it. So
mm,
and it's okay to have a little bit of an emotion of fear, some butterflies every now and then, even if it's something you've done a lot of or you're heavily confident in, because that's just a normal state of emotion, man. And
yeah.
why would anybody suppress that, So it
Mhm.
actually kind of makes me refocus and makes me kind of re-evaluate what I'm doing in that moment again. So I just value that emotion that it provides, and it provides a lot of other emotion with some people that I've never kind of experienced before as well. And after I wrecked, there were a lot of people that came up to me, man, and showed me a lot of love and were very like genuine and were like, hey man, like I saw it was you and I didn't want to look, because normally if we look at somebody and it's that bad and I know him, like I just watched my buddy die. And so they were like, bro, like I just wanted to turn away. So, it's one of those things, man. Like for me, it's taken 41 years for me to really step into this, but I'm okay with that. And I have no shame anymore about that. I have no shame in who I am. And I'm okay talking about it and talking about my experiences, good or bad, because I know even the skydive moment is going to have positive meaning, even if it's for me to understand it at a deeper level to where I don't make some of those same mistakes, because there were some things I could have avoided. I am accountable for my own actions and what happened in it. And I can put some other, I guess, blames or accountability in some other situations, but ultimately there are things I could have done to change that outcome. And maybe it'll have meaning to me later. So
mm.
I just have to think that's what it is. And I'm grateful that I wasn't still in the hospital that evening, as bad as everybody said it was. Because again, I don't know a lot of people, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but that don't know 40 minutes of their life. And I cannot remember 40 minutes of my life. People have to tell me what I said, how I acted. And I was talking, and I was trying to get up even, and they were like, no, you're really messed up. And I kept asking what happened. I was completely out of it.
Wow,
And
dude. So was that like didn't mean to, I'm just, this is wild to me. So would you say, man, I'm grateful that you're still here, man. Would you say that that was like adrenaline in those moments? Is that would you say why that like the memory like you don't have necessarily the recollection?
Actually, I'll be completely honest. I've had to process this a lot, and I don't think it's just that. I
Yeah.
think it's because I became. I think because honestly, I've gotten to a state and within myself that I'm kind of very okay with the outcome, and I understand like even if you listen to Bashar, there's situations where as a soul you get to decide like if you're done or if you want to stay, and maybe even an element of skydiving. Like
Hmm.
I recognized I was in a moment of like, hey, this is gonna be kind of pretty bad. Like, but I was so at peace with it, I just kind of went into a meditative state. And because even when the medic said I woke up, I was very jovial. I was very talkative, and I was
Wow.
never like. So I truly believe that like as human beings, when we talk about controlling the matrix and the holographic structure, it starts from within. Like there may be some other elements to it that we don't entirely understand, but I will say my intuitive thoughts and the thoughts that I've processed and tried to meditate about it afterwards, that's what everything points towards that. So,
Wow, that's powerful, man. Yeah, if anything, for what comes to mind is like in some ways you were like you were there, like the soul and the self, but you were like detached from like the physical, like the way that I said, like you were detached in some ways, but then also like there's no doubt like there was other higher powers with you in those moments too, right? Whatever
yeah.
happened, like in those moments, like there's no doubt, there's no denying that. That's just like, and this is interesting that this is coming up too during this time because I was even considering like. I've never skydived before and I've never bungee jumped, but I've actually considered like going skydiving once, like at least once to say that I did, because like one of my greatest inspirations, may he rest in peace, his name's Greg Plitt, and we shared the same birthday, and he was like a former Army Ranger, and he was like my greatest inspiration, man, like and he probably had like he's jumped like thousands and thousands of times out of airplanes like thousands like he did this like as a hobby of his, right? And then back in 2015 he got hit by a train, right? Just dead, just like that. Doesn't make sense, even to this day. It doesn't make any sense. It's like I'm like, and they say it's an accident, people that were there is like an accident. It's like someone doesn't just get hit by a train. This guy was like completely changing the game and like the fitness game and like just the world. Like he was like one of the top fitness. He was like the top fitness model. He was like the top like influencer motivator at the time. And then just bam, just like hit by a train, dead. And he was also coming out with this like revolutionary product called the Meta Ball, and it was like this ball. And I'm looking at actually trying to like I don't know configure or create something similar in my own way, but it was this ball, it's like a fitness ball, and you could like detach it and take it apart, and you could like work out with it, and you could
Mm.
also like it had like resistance bands and everything that you could think of like in this ball. And it was like gonna change the game, right? He launched it, and then like a month or two later, dead. And he gets hit by a train, and then you don't hear anything about this meta ball. And it's like even if you look it up, you can't find anything. So it's fucking weird, man. It just doesn't make any sense. But that also goes to show how like life is so fleeting, man, and it's like we gotta like live it to the fullest. Like, and if your experience is anything to like take from it, it's like fuck, man. Like that's you lived it.
Well,
You like
and what's weird about it is like, so I didn't have any broken bones, and at first, like, I couldn't straighten my elbow, I couldn't hardly move, and I thought maybe I'd have some long term like ligament or tendon damage in my elbow or something like but that's all healed too. Like it's fine. I feel
wow,
like I can almost throw a baseball, and like but every muscle in my body and in between my ribs and everything, it felt everything like the impact. Like it. So it's weird when you first said something about like maybe a higher power or some type of, I don't know like what to say as far as exactly that, but I definitely feel that like there was a sense of calmness and easiness about. I just think more of like a cellular level. I know that sounds weird to people, but like everything was ready for it, and I made a decision that that was okay, and maybe there was some higher power, divine intervention. It was like, okay, cool, you decided, whatever. That's your. You know, because really, if you listen to a lot of people say that we're living in a dream state, you know, that this physical bleep in the now that you've decided to have is really more like a, you know,
Mm.
in the representation of kind of the now or time. So, you know, to me, it's kind of like that is like we have a lot more to do, and that's why, because my purpose is a lot more meaningful than dying in a skydive accident. And I know that sounds silly to people, but like that's what I truly
No,
feel,
I
and that's
get chills
That
when you
that's
said
your
that. That's true, man. That's true, 100%.
so.
and that's your belief. So if it's your belief, then it's real for you.
Been the spoon.
That's all that matter. And
Yeah.
earlier, Serena said that she would love to for you to go into hypnotherapy and found out why your higher self wanted you to go through that.
Yeah.
That would be actually really interesting for you to get those answers. Thank you, Serena.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm game. Yeah. Thank you.
I think you're a game for
Oh yeah, yeah,
pretty much everything, you know.
yeah.
If you can
Yeah.
fall out of the sky, like, I think, yeah, on
You
the level of gaming, yeah, you're like up there. Me, I'm like, and you're like,
Please, whatever. I've seen what you guys do to your bodies. Like I
yeah,
physically have
but
seen
it's
that
totally
now.
different. I'm on ground level. Whatever I
Yeah.
do that is really like out of this world is on ground level. We all have our things, you know, and we all have our ways to do things that are outside of the norm. A lot of
Mm,
people are very afraid to talk to spirits,
Yeah.
and they
mm,
would say
Uh,
that this is stupid, crazy, insane, you know, you're trying to die, you know, you're gonna get possessed, you know, all those things that
yeah,
people believe. So we,
exactly,
yeah, it's like we have
exactly.
different abilities and paths.
Yeah,
Yes,
Thank
it,
exactly.
you. There you go, though.
yeah,
We all do.
well
So
said.
maybe that's one of mine, and that's
Exactly.
what I will say it. Thank you, because maybe that is one of mine, and I'm okay to step into that. But
Absolutely.
but everybody has some element that is going to make them just as representation of like different or crazy ability. Like we're just stepping into that, like literally like the surface, you
Mhm.
know. So, but anyways, thank you
That's
guys.
yeah, something very
Thank you.
interesting there. One of my friends just joined, Denny. Hi, Denny. Cool that you joined. So that's very, very interesting. So what a message that I want to share with the world, and who will see that because I will probably post it on my page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's good material. So why not sharing it as a post? Hi, Denny. So yeah, so basically Denny is like a long time friend. Like I knew him like from business, like back in the days when I was manufacturing telecom equipment. We had those like big badass projects, and I was a prospect for Denny, like to purchase like millions of relays for one project. So I was that high prospect customers. So this is how we got to know each other, and we really like resonated from heart to heart, like from human to human, right? So we begin like to do stuff outside of the workspace. And long story short, like the project with him, it didn't move forward, but we still stayed in touch and we became friends outside of the business. And where I want to go with that is like with everything that happened, like during COVID, and even to this day, we are still having those friendly debates. And we are like on two different side of the fence into like everything that happened, and even as of today, like I speak to him about, let's say, what we do like in the matrix and all of that, and for him it's nonsense, and he is on the other, still on the other side of the fence, which is fine. So and we're still like connected that way, even if we don't see things on the same
Eye to
like
eye.
eye to eye at all. But the highest, and then this is like what we agree on, that the ultimate truth is love. So even like if we don't see things the same way, it doesn't matter at the end. So like like enough separation, it's all like part of the illusion. So yeah, so
But
so
but Vince, where's your boundary with that? Because I have two.
mhm.
I have that it can't create an oppressor and an oppressed situation, and it has to maintain that everybody gets to keep their sovereignty,
Mhm.
and that's it. So love with boundaries, but that to me is the two things that like has to always be attached. I don't know why. Is that
Mhm.
different? Does anybody else like feel that?
Oh, for sure, you need to have boundaries and to respect them. But as long as it fits within your boundaries, and like Denny just said, like respect.
Everybody has their own
Yeah,
boundaries and their
Yeah.
own set of rules.
yeah,
And
And it comes
if
back to morals and
yeah,
values too, right? And there's also like this also comes back to universal laws too, right?
yeah,
Like that govern us all. They have to be within the confines of that too, right? And if it's outside of that, that means it's outside of well, what God intended for man to be, women to be, right? It's
hmm
Right.
exactly. We learn from everyone we meet.
yeah, exactly. That's well said, Serena. So
Yeah. Cool.
yeah,
I'm
so
ready for hypnosis then.
yeah,
Let's continue the
yeah,
learning.
yeah,
Because there's another person that contacted me today. I just want to say this because this is how the universal flow and synchronizations. But they were like, hey, man, I'm doing this beta testing on hypnosis. Would you be interested? And I asked him a bunch of questions and we both like resonated. So he set up a call for me tomorrow to do an intake because he wants
Well,
to.
go ahead.
He's like, I guess his specialty is teaching people how to put themselves into hypnosis.
cool.
So I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah.
I still like to entertain the other one too, where somebody does it for me as well, or whatever somebody had mentioned. But
Let us know how it's going. I'm really interested.
okay, I will for sure. All right.
Cool.
All right, people of the
Yeah.
world.
So I
It
think
was not supposed to be a
it was
live,
not supposed to be a live. It happened to be a
but it
physical
happened.
live. It was just a
Yes.
technical test, and we had that great moment. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Nice to meet you,
yeah.
Alexander.
Yeah.
For
You
sure,
too,
man.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool
Okay.
after today.
Yeah.
So, but thank you
Uh,
guys.
Thanks to
yeah.
you.
Much love,
Thanks to
guys.
both
Much
of
love.
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi,
Bye,
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Bye.
So thanks to everyone that joined into that beautiful live. It was all super aligned, and all the many of the inner circle were there, and they just joined this live. So it was amazing. So have a great rest of your day, great rest of your night, and together we
See you
rise and
guys.
synchronize, we
You guys
rise.
too.
Nice
Okay.
backyard.
See you guys.
Okay. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
everyone. Bye. Take care.